Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Karachi and in this video lecture we'll focus on understanding dark web. Now we're gonna go over what is dark web, what is Tor relays and the Tor browser, Tor bridge mode and the download Tor browser and navigate Tor, some websites. Now first of all, we need to understand the difference here between the surface web, deep web, and dark web. Now, the first one here, if you look at the surface web, basically this is the part of the web that you can access it and contains content that can be accessed by, search engines like Google, for example, or Yahoo. And this includes, as you could see, like YouTube, eBay, and so on. Now the deep web, these websites cannot be indexed by search engines like Google. Why? Well, simply because you need a username and a password to access these websites. Basically it can contain like a private forums or private network or government reports or subscription information that you need to pay for it, for example, to access it. Now the dark web, this is the invisible or the hidden part of the web that basically requires access to specific web browsers, like Tor browser, because these type of browser protect the, your privacy, your anonymity of the users, and obviously, cyber criminals use the dark web to do illegal things or evil activities like drug trafficking, anti-social campaigns, or any sort of illegal things. Now, before we go further, it's important for you to understand what is Tor relays. Sometimes they call it the nodes, as you can see it on the screen here. Here you got entry guard relay, middle relay, exit relay, Now, the Tor network, which is known as Onion Router, is an open source privacy network that enables anonymous communication by directing internet traffic through worldwide overlay network consisting of more than 7,000 relays. You could see here. The purpose of the Tor is to obscure the location and the usage of the users from anyone conducting network surveillance or traffic analysis. Now, to achieve this, Tor uses a sophisticated relay and encryption system. So for this purpose here, I'm going to start talking about the three main parts: entry relay, middle relay, exit relay. Now, the entry relay, basically, they call it the guard relay also, serves as the initial connection point to the Tor network. So think about it this way. When a user decides to access the Tor network, their computer or the Tor client, the browser you download and install, establishes a connection to an entry relay. This relay is crucial because it is the only node in the Tor circuit that can see the user's actual IP address here, making the selection of a trustworthy and stable entry node very important for maintaining privacy. Now, the entry relay's primary role is to receive encrypted traffic from the user, and pass it to the middle relays over here. So the traffic between the user and the entry relay is encrypted ensuring that any, somebody who's, watching the user, okay, can only see that the user is connecting to the Tor, but cannot view the actual content or the final destination of the traffic to which server it's going here. Now, the second one here, we have the middle relay, as you see right here on the screen. See, now, once the traffic reaches the middle relays over here, and it's forwarded to the middle relay. Think about it this way, as the core of the Tor circuit, as it handles the bulk of data transfer and further obfuscates the user's traffic. The middle relay receives the data from the entry here, okay? But unlike the entry relay, it cannot see the user's IP address over here, this is very important. Its role is to transfer the encrypted data packets to the next node in the middle relay, whatever it is. Typically, basically the exit relay, okay, which is right here, without knowing the source or the intended final destination. Now, this layering of encrypted, transmission adds to the security and the anonymity of the user by making it extremely difficult to trace the complete path of any data packet here. Now, finally, here we have the exit relay. Obviously, this is the final relay in the Tor circuit before the data reaches its destination, to the whoever server you want to access here. Okay, so this node right here decrypts the final layer of encryption and sends the original data to the destination server. Now, to the destination server, okay, and its observers, the exit relay appears to be the origin of the traffic. So this misdirection shields the actual source of the data. Now, the user's IP address from being disclosed to the destination server, basically. Now, however, the exit relay itself can see the data it sends and receives unless the data is encrypted, by the end user using HTTPS or another secure protocol. So this makes the exit relay a sensitive component because it can potentially be used to intercept unencrypted or poorly secured data from here up to here. Now, what is the working of the Tor browser? Okay, so the Tor browser is based on Mozilla Firefox web browser and functions using the onion routing technique. So this technique involves basically wrapping the user data in multiple layers of encryption, which are peeled off by successive Tor relays, the nodes we discussed it in a previous slide, as the data passes through them. Now, each relay decrypts a layer to reveal the next relay the data needs to be sent to, without knowing the original source or the final destination. So, this ensures that no single relay has enough information to trace the entire path of the data from the sender to the receiver. As a result, it maintains anonymity and protects user privacy here. So here we could see that in this technique, the traffic is encrypted and sent through, several relays within Tor network, Okay, so again, the Tor network's architecture is such that the traffic passing through it's encrypted and re-encrypted multiple times, basically, as it hops from one relay to another relay to another relay, therefore tracing it back to the source, okay, that's not possible at all. Now, The Tor browser provides access to .onion websites. You know, the Tor browser is specifically designed to access the .onion website, which is a part of the dark web. So these websites use the .onion top level domain, TLD, which is not part of the internet DNS, you know, the one we know like .com or .gov or whatever, you know. The addresses of this onion websites are typically a string of random character. If you look at right here, this is, you see that? Here's the domain. It's just random, okay, or string of random characters that correspond to a public key, making them difficult to remember, but also enhancing security and anonymity. Just remember that traditional search engines do not index the .onion domains whatsoever here, and can only be accessed through the Tor browser, which routes requests for these sites through the Tor network, as I discussed before. Now, the Tor's hidden service protocol allows users to host websites, anonymously with the .bit, the bit domains here. Now, okay, so basically, what is the bit domain? It's typically associated with the Namecoin. It's a decentralized DNS system based on the blockchain technology. So how does this benefit you? Well, it offers similar privacy advantages by decentralizing domain registration and resolution. The result, it makes it extremely difficult for censorship and surveillance from happening. Why not, a core part of the Tor network? These domains over here can complement .onion services in providing anonymous web hosting and access services here. And here, if you look at the screen here where you see it in the green, that's encrypted traffic coming from the user all the way to the exit, and that's where it become unencrypted unless, like I mentioned before, you enforce the encryption from the user side all the way to the end. Now, another important thing here we have is the Tor Bridge node. Now, the Tor Bridge node plays a very important role in facilitating access to the Tor network, especially in environments where Tor usage is blocked or monitored, like in some countries in the world. The bridge nodes are a specialized form of Tor relay that differ significantly in functions and deployment from the standard Tor relays. Okay, so here I'm gonna explain the Tor bridge node overview. Okay, so unlike traditional Tor relays, which are publicly listed, by the way, in the Tor directory, those bridge nodes are not listed in the public Tor directory. Now, this lack of public visibility is by design, by the way, primarily to help users connect to the Tor network in regions, where Tor is censored or its relays are blocked by national firewalls or local internet service provider, but not appearing in the public directory. So, by not appearing in the public directory, as I mentioned, okay, those bridge nodes remain under the radar of most blocking efforts. That's why many countries, like if you travel, they block even going to the Tor browser website and download. Now, the functionality and configuration, okay. So when it comes to this part here, the bridge nodes act as the initial connection point to the Tor network. Basically, it is similar to the entry guards, but with distinct configuration that make them less detectable. So when a user connects to a bridge mode, which is, I'm going to show you this in the next slide, this node forwards the encrypted traffic to the rest of the Tor network, typically through other relays until it reaches the exit node right here. Okay. Now, however, because they are not listed publicly, user must obtain bridge addresses from other sources, like, for example, like the Tor project's bridge DB, or like your friends or other private channels that you know. Okay, so the main purpose of the bridge mode is to circumvent censorship. Okay, it makes it very hard to detect and makes it harder to block. That's very important if you end up visiting some oppressive regimes where internet access is severely restricted and monitored. Now, after you download the Tor browser and you install it, which is extremely straightforward, like it's very simple process here. You go right here, you download it, and you pick your basically the browser based on your operating system. It's very straightforward. Now, you probably want to go into the connection, and here you could see those bridges right here. So see that? The bridges help you secure access to the Tor network in places where Tor is blocked. Depending on where you are, one bridge may work better than others. So what does it mean to you? Well, it means that there are 3 types of bridges right here. Okay. The first one here, that's the built one. Okay. This is the most common recommended pluggable transport, the OBFS4, okay, which, it obfuscates traffic by adding an encryption layer that is resistant to active probing. That's a technique used by some firewalls to detect and block Tor traffic. The second one here, you see, okay, when you say select the built-in, you got the Snowflake, which routes your connection through Snowflake proxies to make it look like you're placing a video call. The other one, Meek Azure, makes it look like you're connected to a Microsoft website instead of using Tor. Say it may work in heavily censored region, but usually very so. So if you end up going to a censored countries, for example, you have to try each one of these to see which one works. Now, if you want to request a bridge right here, simply you just click right here, and and you could enter or scan this bridge using the QR code or by copying its information, and then that's basically will help you to use different type of bridge other than the built-in bridge. You see it on the screen. Now, if you go to the advanced here, okay, you could also use the Tor browser to connect to internet through a proxy. Obviously you need to have the IP address and the port, if you have username and a password, or like if you're behind the firewalls here, you need to figure out the ports, allowed ports, for example, like port 80443 by the firewall, which is by default every firewall allows this ports to be open, so you could utilize this part right here. And again, like I said, the download is just straightforward. So in the next part of this video, I'm gonna show you a demo of the Tor browser. So the first thing you need to figure out, what are available search engines here, and those two are very famous, Ahmiya and Haystack. You have to Google and figure out which one works best for you. So, for example, like I picked Haystack, and so if you go to Haystack, if you recall, that's the domain right here, and that's a type of search engine. It's called Darknet search engine on a Tor network with over 1.5 billion pages, over 260,000 onions. That's a lot. And the other one right here. So what I've done, for example, I type looking for passports. So if you click search right here, it's going to give you a bunch of links over here. So I picked one store, I already opened the stores already here, so it makes the video demo faster. So when you access it, you could see they have a bunch of categories over here, from bank statement, bulk emails, document scans, flight tickets, hotel booking, passports, software, social security number, utility bills, visa services. So I picked, the passports right here. So it took me to this page right here, and you could see there are a bunch of passports for different countries right here, and here's the prices for it. So I'll pick the UK, okay, which will take me to this page, okay, and here's, you can see the price of it, and basically what the website is claiming, that your British passport will be issued by corrupt immigration police officials directly from the issuing office without you visiting the country, so it takes about like 60 days or less to process the documents, blah blah blah. So again, that's what the website is claiming. And here, for example, like if you want some bulk email addresses, for spamming, for sure, you have to pay for it, for Hotmail, Gmail, Yahoo, and so on. And here is also like visa services. So, okay, so again, like if you want to access those websites, just make sure that you just browse. Do not try to register. Do not use your name or use any password credential that you use it on a real website. Just browse, get an idea, and learn how the Tor browser works and what type of illegal things are. You can see it in the Tor. With this, I conclude the dark web lecture. I hope you find it useful, and thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. If you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for additional videos. Thank you again for watching.